Hello, friends. Today we are going to work on some comparison story problems where the bigger amount is not known. Remember, when we work on comparisons, we are taking two sets of objects and we're looking at those objects to see how they're the same and how they are different. So let's read a problem and see if we can figure this one out. Ready? Read it with me. Graham has 3 more apples than Jagger. Jagger has 2 apples. How many apples does Graham have? So let's take a look and see what we know from the story problem. Graham has 3 more apples than Jagger. What do we know about Graham's apples? Do we know how many he has? No, we don't. We know he has 3 more than Jagger, but we don't know how many he has altogether. That's kind of a dilemma, isn't it? Well, let's keep reading and see if we can find more information that'll help us. Jagger has 2 apples. What do we know about Jagger's apples? That he has 2 of them, right? How many apples does Graham have then? If Jagger has 2 and Graham has 3 more than Jagger, how many does Graham have? Well, can we use what we know about Jagger's to help us figure out how many Graham has? We sure can. So let's get started and let's solve this problem by making a model. So in this problem, we have 2 sets of objects. What are the objects that we have? They're Graham's apples and Jagger's apples. So I'm going to start by bringing up my text boxes here. And I'm going to set one up for Graham, and I'm going to do a capital G for Graham. And I'm going to make one for Jagger for capital J. So now I know that we're going to have Graham's apples and Jagger's apples. Well, let's see what we know. Graham has 3 more apples than Jagger. Do we know how many apples he has yet? Nope, that's what we're trying to find out. So let's see if we can figure out how many Jagger has. Jagger has 2 apples. Do we know how many he has? We do. So let's represent that. So I'm going to come get our dots here and let's represent the 2 apples that Jagger has. So Jagger has 2 apples. Now can we figure out how many Graham has? How would we do that? Well, I'm going to go back and reread. It says Graham has 3 more apples than Jagger. 3 more. That's interesting. So if he has 3 more apples than Jagger, does he just have 3 apples? No, he has 3 more than Jagger. Well, if he has 3 more than Jagger, does he still have the same amount as Jagger? Yes, he does. To have something more or extra, you still have to have the same amount as the other person. So let's give him the same amount of apples as Jagger has. So Jagger has 2 apples. And I'm going to go ahead and connect those with my sticks. And my sticks are a little bit bigger than where I put my dots, but that is okay. We'll just connect them. So that's what they have that are the same, right? But it says Graham has 3 more or 3 extra apples. So I'm going to bring up 3 more apples. Because these are the extra apples he has. These are the ones that are more than what Jagger has. So there's the 3 extra or the 3 more apples. Okay, well, can we figure out now? So the question says, how many apples does Graham have? Well, let's just count them. Here's the 3 extra. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So how many apples did Graham have? He had 5 apples. I'm going to go ahead and come right here and I'm going to click 5 right there because Graham had the most apples. He had 5. Well, from the first part of the story, we knew that he had 3 extra. Those weren't the ones that Jagger had. he had 3 extra, so I'm going to go ahead and put my 3 extra right there. And we know that Jagger had 2. So the 2 apples that Jagger had plus the 3 extra gave us Graham's 5 apples, didn't they? So boys and girls, today you are going to do some comparison story problems. On the next slide, I want you to do one on your own. Think about, what do I already know? And what am I trying to find out? In this one, we knew that Jagger had 2 apples and that Graham had 3 extra apples than Jagger had. So in order to find out how many Graham had, we knew that he had to have at least the same amount, right? Because he said he had more or extra apples. So we made the same amount. Then we put the 3 extra apples on. So we know that Graham had 5 apples, and we figured that out by taking Jagger's 2 apples and adding the 3 extra apples that Graham had together to find Graham's 5 apples. Okay, boys and girls, you give it a shot on the next slide.